Hi, this is Jacqueline here with the Grow program. Thank you for growing with me on today. Do you believe in magic? Do you believe in magic? Well, let me tell you something, honey. God is a magician. As long as you serve him, God will make a way out of no way. Um, I'm just so in awe of God right now. I moved from the Lighthouse to the Penthouse, and I call it the Penthouse. The lady that recommended it to me don't think that much of it, and she lives here. But I call it the Penthouse because it's beautiful to me. You know, it don't take much to please me. It never did. Um, I don't have to have the best of everything. As long as I got enough to get by, I'm all right. And then perhaps I can have enough to share. That's how I've lived my life. And now I know, grow. As my cup runneth over, I pour into someone else's cup. And I have been working so hard for the Lord the last 2 years, and God knows I put everything I have into grow. I put all of me into grow. Grow is everything to me. I am at a place where I have no more disturbances. I am up in what I call a penthouse, but it's a deluxe apartment in the sky high, moving on up. I'm telling you, I feel like up in here, I finally got a piece of the pie. And it may not seem like all this and all that to some other person, but it's all that to me because it's mine. It's what God has blessed me with, and I'm so grateful. God said, be thankful and take care of the small things, and I shall grant you with the great things. Okay, well, watch this. In 2020, 2021, when I was going through what I was going through, homelessness and different things, and I was, after I left the narcissist, staying with a friend. I told you about that. But I used to wish that that place was mine. I used to look out. I see the satellite dishes out there pointing at the sky, beaming. See, I'm like a satellite, beaming to God, really, truly. Beaming to God and reflecting off, so you can be able to, reflect off that. When I'm beaming from God, that's love. So I was standing in the window. It was a second floor apartment they had. And I would stand in the window and look outside at the woods. It was so beautiful. And I would just wish that it was mine. I would wish it was mine, and I would look around how I could get one, but then I didn't want one out of town. I knew I didn't want to be, I could see I was staying with them out of town. I knew I didn't want to be out of town. So I just used to think about, I wish I had an apartment like that looked just like that. I'm telling you, honey, God has blessed me. And I'm just looking at it again today, just taking another looking at it. I would rub my eyes because I can't believe the prize. This how God done blessed me. My grandbaby, he out there in California having the time of his life. My daughter done moved into a suite. My daughter, which is my son, has moved into a suite. You hear me? His place looks better than my place. His place is an upstairs suite. It's 3 bedrooms, beautiful. They're actually bedrooms, but the way it's built is it's an older building, and the 3 bedrooms up there, and his and her bathroom vanities. I mean, $890, all utilities paid. And not far from his job. Just like me, I've been blessed. I pay hundreds of dollars less, and I'm 5 minutes from my job. See, that's what'll happen when you serve God. And then when I look outside, it reminds me, it looks just like That apartment that I lived in that I wish was mine, even down to the walk-in closet, where I am now in here broadcasting the podcast to you, to the world. I am so grateful and thankful to be growing with you. I was disconnected from the internet yet. I was still connected to God. Look, and these in here, they got wash and dry hookup. So that noise you hear, that's somebody's wash and dry. So let me step out of here, out this closet. Because see, I'm close to that. I'm going to step out here and go out here. And see, maybe it's a little quieter. See, I'm in the penthouse, honey. I'm in the penthouse, and look, where I used to stand and stare out that window every day, day in and night, because I hadn't begun to go back to work yet. But when I would stand and stare in that window and just have a beautiful view of the woods, I have that right now. And I don't have to fool with anybody. Ain't nobody come walking up. I ain't got to worry about what somebody mad at. I ain't got to worry about no attitude. I ain't got to deal with nothing. All I hear is peace and quiet. See, we got to seek ye peace. We got to seek after peace. We got to bring peace. We got to be about peace. We got to be about love. We got to come at it with love. We got to be a change if we want change. I'm up here and I just can't believe it. I really cannot believe how God has blessed me. You know, everywhere it's got to be somebody somewhere that just don't know how to act. But after a while, those antics and different things catch up with you. Evil's reign is not long. I've learned that. I understand that. God is so good. Just keep seeking after God, and God will seek after you. Seek after God's own heart. Because see, God is there. God's been there from the start. But we start doing us. We over here doing some other stuff. Over here messing up. Wait a minute. I got to turn this heat off. No, I turned it on. Oh, it's off. Because, when I'm upstairs, heat rises. And then, I already be having those hot flashes. So, I have to really stay cool. I try to stay cool. I'm just cool. Honey, baby, can't you see? Cool. See, what's that spell? We got to be cool. We got to be cool in everything. We got to take coolness. Look, I'm just cool. Because see, the one thing that you can't do is control somebody else. You can't do that. All you can do is control you. See, that's what some people going to learn. That's what they going to know. What they don't know is what they will know, grow. Be just cool, because control you and just be cool. That's how I am, everywhere I go or whatever, where, look, I remember going over somebody's house and he sat there, a friend of mine took me over here to his cousin's house. I went over there a few times and I really enjoyed his company, really liked spending time with him. We laughed and talked and, sat there and just had a good time. Friendship, fellowship, that's fellowshipping. That's in love. And then one day he said, well, I want you to know this. I'm in his house. So we sitting there fellowshipping. He said, I want you to know that I smoke crack. See, because I had heard rumors, but I didn't know. He told me what he did, and I knew I had to grow. See, He let me know this is my house. This is what I do. I'm just telling you this is what's coming up. I'm getting ready to do it. So, okay, well, you do you, boo, because I got to do me. And never again did I set foot back in his house. See, we got to learn. You can't control nobody else. Even though I tried to talk to him, my brother. I tried to talk to him, but some people, they don't have, they don't have the listening ears. They got ears, but their ears ain't listening. They just there for sure. So you can look at, pick at, put something on them. Some people ain't listening with their ears. They just use them for objects. They're not listening. They hear you, but they're not listening. We got to listen to the voice of the Lord. We got to be ready for change if we want change. And after that, he always spoke of change, but never was the change. See, don't let nothing control you. Let it come to you. If it's meant to be, let it come to you, and then in God it will be. See, because God should have the glory for your story. You are the author. You're writing out the story right now. You can make this life whatever you want it to be. It's up to you. Are you a finisher? Are you going to keep on trying to finish the story? A beautiful story? Keep walking in the path of righteousness? Because as you walk in the path of righteousness, goodness shall follow you. For me standing in the window of a friend's apartment, wishing I had one, me and my baby on the verge of homelessness, then went to homelessness. But now God done turned it all around as we keep seeking after good. I'm back connected. My baby is taken care of. My grandbaby. See, I spoke all of this a while ago. I spoke that my daughter was also going to grow. She's growing every day, getting better and better. It's a journey. You just got to hold on to the unchanging hand of God and don't let go. See, even when I was disconnected, I was still connected to God. I knew that I had to keep that line of communication open with the Lord, because God had me in spite of my circumstance, no matter what I go through, having to go different places to send off the podcast, doing different things. Wi-Fi, trying to use Wi-Fi. You know how it is. You got to have your Wi-Fi, your data. Can't be disconnected from our data. That's our info. Well, as you grow, don't be disconnected from God. Make sure you still got that connection with God, because it's hot out there in the spiritual warfare. It's hot. But God got the sod. We take that rain and we grow. Some of that rain shall never come again. From 1 to 8 billion, from 1 to 8 billion, from 1 to 8 billion, here we grow. From 1 to 8 billion, from 1 to 8 billion, from 1 to 8 billion, don't you know? It's time to grow. It's time to grow. time to grow. Hey, listen, my friend, I was over to her house today. God had given me this revelation a while ago that I was going to have a friend who has a dog, has animals, and I'd be sitting over there drinking coffee. And that's exactly what happened yesterday. And that revelation, the confirmation. I'm sitting over there with her having coffee. She got a little dog. She got 2 cats and 1 cat. They all came to greet me. And she was so shocked that her animals came to greet me. The cat Oreo came to greet me, and her mouth just fell open. She said, "My cat never comes to greet anyone." She said, matter of fact, she runs away from everyone. But that cat was right there by me, rubbing all on me, and I was petting the cat. The dog came. His name is Cowboy. The cat's name is Oreo. And Cowboy came to see me. And we just had a wonderful little time, the 4 of us in the Lord. God is good. I'm so grateful and thankful to be here, growing with you in the Penthouse. It just makes me think of the Jeffersons theme song. It really does. Moving on up. Because, it may not seem like it's all that, but it's all that to me because it's a blessing from God. And I'm so thankful and grateful. And last night, I just stood and looked out the window. Remember I told you that I would rather watch leaves blowing in the wind than listen to somebody's gossiping. I really truly would. And when I was staying with my friend, I stood looking out the window because they would go to work. But I stood looking out the window, looking in the woods, looking at the trees, listening to the birds, crying at the sound of the birds. And I can do that right now, right here where I am. And it's so peaceful. This is what I listen to. I don't have a TV. I listen for the voice of the Lord. I turn that oppression off. I don't need to hear that breaking news. I don't need to know that. I know it's breaking. I know it's still breaking. But God is the fix. God is on the move. See, that's where I'm looking at. I'm looking at the Lord. What thus saith the Lord, my will shall be done on earth as it is in heaven. Greatness reached over oppression through wisdom. Stay connected with the Lord, honey. Keep growing every day. God bless you as you grow.